Yeah, you can see me right here. That's me. Yeah, no, my heals take a while. It's going to be a little bit. It takes a bit to get there. Okay, I'm going Zenyatta, and I'm not going to heal you now because you're too far away from me. All right, so in today's video, we are watching a Silver 3 Kiriko, Zen, and Lucio on Junkertown. So we got a silver game here again. There's two things they want to know. Are they DPSing too much to support? And they think that their teammates are overextending. Is there anything they should be doing differently to keep them alive? They say that later on they were struggling to keep their teammates alive, so they swapped to Zen, try to kill the enemies before they can take too much damage. So, a lot happening here. We'll see how it goes. This is one of those classics where it's either going to be perfect or it isn't. We'll find out. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Like it. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, Junkertown plays a little bit differently now with the way the map is now set up, so. Aloha Mora, thanks for the 20 months with the Phoenix Process. Thank you, appreciate it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, there's no helping your Doom right there. If you're wondering about your Doom Fist specifically, you're not helping your Doom. Your dad is on your Doom and your Doom only. If they're mad about not getting healed there, that's on them. There's just no way you can help your Doom. And they still might get out. Now you can help your Doom. Now you can help your Doom. Wow, I'm actually impressed that your Doom Fist survived that long. You could say that was a greedy play by the Doom. You get it? Because their name's Greed. So, like, they had a greedy play in their backline, so I referenced their name in that situation. You get that? Because their name's Greed. So I said that was a greedy situation, so it was in reference to the Doomfist. You get that? That's pretty good, right? This is silver, yeah. So far, so good. I don't have any issue with how you're playing it. Your DPS output's fine. Your heals are going to be totally fine. Your teammates are going in a little bit. So far, so good. Now you're DPSing a little bit too much, and I'll say that because your Doomfist needed the heals. I know you hit a headshot, though, so the hindsight of that is you got to pick. But I definitely think you could have helped your team a little bit more with that one. Use Kitsune now. Now. Force out Zen ult. Either you force out Zen ult or you do something. If you wait, you're going to do nothing here. If you wait, you're going to do nothing. Go to your Cassidy, who's High Noonan. Oh, now we ult. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. I forgot we needed to execute the strategy of ult domino. So rather than just leading off with one ultimate, we all decide to wait till one person hits their button so we can react with all our buttons. Even better. Good cleanse. TP if you need to. Just TP to... Do me a favor. Yeah, I was going to say TP if you need to, just to make yourself invulnerable for a second. You're dead here. I mean, so far, like, it's been hard to really react to anything that's happened because, like, it's been a pretty default way of playing this map. And outside of, like, bad ult usage, like, I don't have anything that I can just be like, yeah, you know, your team played fine. Like, honestly, if I look at that, I go, that was a good first point. Oh, I know with the Doom there, it could have been healed a little bit, but, like, that was just a good defense for first point. Like, you can't expect to full hold everything. So understanding what's considered a good first point, that's a good first point. I'm okay with that. I do feel like at a certain point, you need to... I need to see something here. I'm going to give this one more go. If I see this one more time, then there's something that you're doing that I think is... So you have a tendency that you do. And this is why, from your point of view... Okay. I gotta wait for a team fight to happen. I gotta wait for a team fight to happen before I can really showcase it. But there's a tendency you have as a player that I'm noticing. You talked about how your teammates are all going in, right? And you were like, oh, my teammates are being too aggro. I couldn't keep them alive, etc. But the problem is, I think your default playstyle is to back up while everybody else pushes in. So it's not really an issue of your teammates playing too aggro. Don't get me wrong, like your Doom's playing aggressive. But like, look at like, I didn't mean to do that. Like, look at where. Whoa! I keep hitting 20 seconds. My bad. Let me do this again. Like, look at this. And I'll go to the green screen to kind of showcase it. So what you're doing is look at you. Hi, I'm right down here. Yeah. So what I'm doing is while you go in, I'm gonna fall back. So all my team is right here, but I'm gonna keep falling back. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna talk about the concept and the idea, right? That my team is playing too aggressive. Meanwhile, it's like, hello, can you see me all the way over here in the mountains? Hello there. Yeah, could you get closer? I can't heal you. Yeah, I need you to come all the way back here. You see, I'm right here. You see me? Right here. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Right here. If you look, see? Yeah, you can see me right here. That's me. Yeah, no, my heals take a while. It's gonna be a little bit. It takes a bit to get there. Okay. I'm going Zenyatta, and I'm not going to heal you now because you're too far away from me. Yeah, I'm right here. You can see me back here when you're all up over here. So what you want to do in that situation is learn how to go at the pace of your team, because this isn't an issue where, in my opinion, your team's playing too aggro. Your Doom is, right? You've had issues with your Doom playing aggro up there, but like you're playing way too far back, and you can see that. Keep in mind, you didn't even come back from spawn here. You're not coming back from spawn. You're just all the way back there. So instead of being like, hi, try to be up there with your team a little bit more, and I think you'll see more value. Remember, chat, remember when they randomly buffed the speed of like how quickly you heal as Kiriko, and people were like, why are they still buffing Kiriko? It's because a lot of players have the tendency to want to play really far back, so they're relying on their heals to go across it. What happens if you're at the point now where if there's like a windstorm that happens when you throw a heal, it's gonna get blown away and you won't even be able to heal your teammates. So just to point out, you're playing a bit too aggro. I mean, a little bit too passive. I don't know how I got aggro out of that when I did the exact opposite. Incoming. Nice shots there. Good job. Positioning. Oh, you're dead. At that point, try to swift step. Is it so passive they went back around to aggro? No, you know what I meant. They're playing just super passive. Now you're getting rolled a little bit, right? I really do think this is just like you're not playing at the pace of your team. So like this is one of those situations where you have 4 people who want to play aggro and want to play further up, and you have 1 player who wants to play back, and the 1 player playing back's going, why isn't my teammates not playing at the pace that I'm playing? One thing about Overwatch is if you can find that pace based off of how your team's playing, and you can all come together to play a very similar playstyle, you'll be in a good spot. You have to understand that as like, if all your team's playing aggro and you're not, then who is in that team fight playing kind of like... That's why if I'm playing a game and like I recognize like my supports don't heal as much, I change my playstyle. If my supports are willing to just like pump heals into me, then I play it differently. If my DPS play really aggro and are diving their backline, what's the best thing I can do? Sit back and get mad that my DPS are playing a little bit aggro, or do I go at the same pace as them? I've learned that if I go at the same pace as my teammates, it will go a lot better. What rank is this? This is silver. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't get me started about the Kasune. Don't get me started. I'll let that go though for now. But this is where you need to use Kitsune early. I'm gonna point something out again. Just because you know they have ultimates, it's okay to use one of your ultimates to bait out the rest of your ultimates. Right now, they have Zen ult and Lucio ult. So are you going to wait for them to use the Zen ult and Lucio ult, or are you going to use Kiriko ultimate to be able to get those ultimates out, or are you going to rely on an EMP? If your team does not lead in with an EMP or lead in with a Kitsune right now, you will lose this team fight. Because they're gonna get in a limb, and then after that, it's 4v5, and then you're just going to get rolled. Okay, ready? Set. Kitsune! I'll take it. Good enough for me. Oh no, you missed your shots. It happens. EMP. EMP. Let's get that EMP going real soon, otherwise it's, yeah, there it is, way too late. And see, what happened there is you went with Kitsune, your teammate didn't want to use their EMP because they were waiting for the exact perfect moment because nobody wants to go in and get a solo eliminate on the ultimate. They want to get all 5 in their ultimate, hoping that it eventually gets them play of the game, which won't be play of the game anyway because somebody will end up taking it with 1 elim randomly. But still, that is why it's very, very important to use your ultimates and not just sit there and do nothing with them. And I will always reiterate that point because it is... So many players and so many ranks are just, they just want to save their ultimate. And keep in mind, it's good to save your ult at times, but there's also times where you don't want to get stuck in that rotation. All right? No, you also have to be perfect. On to Lucio now. Let's see how this goes. Lucio's really strong right now. Lucio's very strong. Which, by the way, you took Lucio from your other support who popped the lamp right away. This is a good sign. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Okay, what's your plan? I don't know what your plan is. You're going all over the place. What's your plan's to swap to Kiriko again? Okay, perfect. I was gonna say, I feel like you just... It's like you loaded into, like, the new Hero Mastery, played for a minute, and said, I'm good. Like, I felt like I was watching you play Hero Mastery more than I was watching you play Lucio. Yeah, you need to get that out of your system. By the way, positive note, your Kiriko like kunais have been very accurate, like in a good way. Like you don't be afraid to do that damage you've been doing. I've been very happy to see that. The flip side of that is your playstyle is so static in the backline that things like that will happen because your movement is kind of stuck. Like stop just playing really far back. Oh, hero swap again? Nope. Okay, just making sure.
Feels okay, man.
Oh, I'm not saying that the play of going Lucio isn't bad. Isn't fine. I'm fine with it. It was just a good enjoyment of watching Lucio there.
Thanks.
I love that whole sequence. You launch your Suzu off the map, and then your Doomfist falls off the map trying to survive. I just love that whole sequence.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Your Swift Step usage has been a little bit suspect also. I want to see some improvement on Swift Step. You're not using it as much. Now on to Zenyatta. Which, by the way, Zenyatta here fits your playstyle. So this is where I think your Zenyatta swap might see positive results. Because this is the playstyle that you were playing beforehand when you were playing Kiriko. Where you notice how in Kiriko you played like how you would play Zenyatta? Now you're playing a hero that benefits your playstyle, which can also help. A Zenyatta in a really fast comp is a good compromise. And what I mean by that is you don't need Zenyatta to go up there and face tank the team. Right? Like, you don't need a Zenyatta to go face tank a team, so you can now play back while also helping your aggressive team. Discord Awards. A healing orb on one of your DPS, even your tanks. Now this will benefit you. You see that? And it fits your playstyle. So this is adjusting. This is like a good compromise of like, okay, you don't have to fix your playstyle, but you can now play a hero that fits the playstyle of your teammates. You see what I'm saying? Now keep in mind, Zenyatta did get a little bit nerf sense, so. And one of the other players DC, one of the other players did DC. What a treat. Nice shots. I will say your shots have been good. I will say. Aim will not be your issue. Everything else will be. Also, for people saying, oh, at Lucio beat, first of all, we all know that everybody here, including myself playing Lucio, we try to save our beat for the perfect time, and we're terrible at it. We know that. Anytime I play Lucio, I try to save my beat for, like, I'm going to save it for Sigma ult. I get 30 seconds in, I go, this is too long, and I hit my button. How many of you were the Lucios that go, hey, by the way, let's go be aggressive with beat. 3, 2, 1, go! Right? And then you use it, and then they use all their ultimates that beat would have saved, and you went, well, I should have saved beat! You use it immediately because you like the sound? Oh, I'm sure your teammates love you. Why'd you beat right there? I like the sound? Oh, understandable. Have a nice day. Oh, if I play Lucio? See, here's the thing. If you play Lucio and you get your teammates to always push in with you when you use your beat, then you can never have a bad beat because you don't have to save it for something. Well, I used beat aggressively, right? I'm sorry you got Sigma ulted and you all got rolled, but I didn't have it. See? That's how you just can't have a bad support ult. Not bad. Much better Zenyatta gameplay for you. But this is also because you can now play at the pace of your team, right? As I was saying, I think that was your biggest adjustment is like, you played so passive. Now look at this. Your teammates can play more aggro. You can put orbs up. You can also go up there and tank. You can play a bit of an off tank as Zenyatta. Like, now you're at the pace of your team, right? And now it's going a lot better for you. Hey? What rank are they? Silver. Keeping an orb up. Doing some right-click damage. Zenyatta's about to fall over on their team. Using cover behind a wall. All good so far. Getting an orb up. Getting the limbs. Not bad. Good job. Good job. A 10-player kill streak, but it's also their playstyle. They play really far back. Like, they're playing on the cart, but like my point is that their playstyle in general, they're not going to play aggro here. They're going to play far back, and they're going to help their team. Ping the hero. Also, if you're playing Zenyatta, you can ping people through walls who are discorded. Remember that. Don't be afraid to go high ground at a certain point here, because of their team is playing such a low ground-based comp. Also, you know what's amazing to me? I did not expect to see this, but to see a Zen Lucio comp played in silver is actually, I did not expect that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did not expect that, to see Lucio Zen in silver. Because a lot of it is like, it's not a high healing comp, so to see a Zen Lucio comp in silver is a huge surprise to me, because what's a way to explain this? Just because something's meta in top 500 does not mean that it will be played correctly in, like, let's say, silver. So to see Lucio Zen being played in silver and to have it be a mirror is very interesting to me. You get what I'm saying? It's, like, very interesting to me to see, like, that happening. No, it's one of the best support comps right now. I mean, maybe that shifted with Zenyatta being at 250 HP now. I haven't really played the hotfix till I'll be playing it after, like, this is spectating, but, like, it's just really interesting to see, I guess. That's just going to be your team loses that fight. They had a lot. Well, that's what I mean about it being played really well. Is like, this is reliant on your teammates playing good cover. And like, you also understand and like, you're not going to get heals. But it also makes sense because if your tank is an all-in tank, Lucio Zen's fine because you're not going to sit there the whole time waiting to make a huge play. So it's you know. Discord a target. Ping the target. Oh, what a May ult. That is going to be such a good May ult. Don't you love when there's a good May ult and then your Junkrat's like, you know what? I can't let you have that good Mayo. So even though we're like in a 3-stack right now, we're both going to use our ultimates at the exact same time rather than save the tire for when they come out of spawn, so it's a guaranteed team fight win rather than having to try to kill the Ramatra who has their ultimate. You know what I'm saying? Oh, good news. You know what? You know what I love? I want to point something out. And this is... I talk about this all the time. I have to pause for a second because I've sat here and talked about how you play so passive, but in the one team fight where I want you to play as passive as you were before you decide to stack the cart, this is what overtime does. I'm telling you right now, this is what Overwatch overtime does. Everything that you do, you just start to do. You're like, oh, it's overtime. I'm going on the cart. The one opportunity where you want to just stay back, Discord orb, and because they can't get to you, you go and play aggressive with them. Yeah, I think the Ramatra hecked up their ultimate too. I think Ramatra hit the ultimate and then hit the ultimate again. Yep. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened with the Ramatra if we look. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just... Let me look. Yeah, it happens. Honestly, I've done that before in accident too. I'm not even going to sit there and be like, oh, I've been there before. But it's overtime. See? Overwatch overtime. You hit your ultimate twice. I'm telling you. The Reinhardt is on Rein in a Lucio Zen comp. I want to see how this goes. This is either going to go brilliant or that Reinhardt swapping, and I'd say 10 seconds after they get rolled. There's just no way that Rein will have any survivability with Lucio Zen comp in the other team. There's like a 0 chance. As they... Okay, never mind. Never mind. No, I'm telling you, if your team...
That's almost a year.
Just a little side note here. If you're against this team comp and they're running the Reinhardt, as I say that, the Reinhardt absolutely shreds you with a double fire strike. Shoot the Reinhardt. That Reinhardt will have no fun. If you were playing against a Lucio Zen Reinhardt, break the Rein shield, Rein will never be able to play the game. At all. That Reinhardt will not be able to play the game at all. So you not shooting at the Rein and spamming the Rein out is giving that Rein opportunity to do anything. I just want to point that out. Break the Rein shield. Listen, if the Bastion goes out of position, does this and that, then that's fine. Now you won't have fun as Rein. First of all, if you're on Reinhardt to begin with and you have a Lucio Zen, you're probably not going to have fun to begin with. So I'm just saving the idea that you might expect your supports to be able to keep you up with that. Meanwhile, the Rein is still alive and just running around the map. I love it. I love that. Like, I go, yeah, this isn't going to work. That Reinhardt is now shredding your team. That Reinhardt has proved everything wrong when it comes to all that stuff. What is your team on? Your team's on. Team comp's fine. Well, that's the problem. Like, a lot of players will be like, hey, Rein needs to be buffed. But the problem is that Rein is basically the default play style a lot of players want to play. So a lot of players know how to play behind a Rein and play with a Rein. And that's where Rein always ends up with like this 60%, 55% win rate in like a lot of ranks. Because Rein just, the play style, a lot of players are comfortable playing that style. Don't be afraid to ult your, yep. I would say, if you tire, Zen ult. If you don't, just wait. Don't Zen ult now. Wait to Zen ult and then wait 2 more seconds and then save your teammate. You should Zen ult this to survive. Don't want to get staggered out. Okay. I'm going to explain something here. Overtime spawns are longer. Okay? Overtime spawns are longer. So, it's going to work out now. You'll probably win this because you have your Zen ult. Oh, and that's the Zen ult. That's... Nice. So, great Mei ult. I honestly, this is what I mean though. Like, your ultimate, I felt like you had an opportunity to go and reposition yourself and survive that and have a Zen ultimate that would like, you got 0 value with the Zen ult. Like, okay, sorry. You didn't get 0 value, but you got like, you made something happen. I'm gonna be honest with you, I cannot believe the Rein Lucio Zen comp worked. I'm actually impressed. Legitimately, I'm impressed.
Rein should get a rework that gives the center of his shield, the part covering him, a damage reduction.
It's an interesting concept. I don't think they would do that. Uh-oh. There's the Rein. There you go. That's what I expect. If a Rein charges in that comp, they should fall over. I mean, the biggest mistake you've really made against this comp is, like, you just haven't pressured the Reinhardt. It's like you were so worried about everything else that if you just discorded the Rein, that Rein would have fallen over and everybody else would have, like, it would have been a domino effect, right? Because their team has had like this play style of being comfortable playing behind a Rein shield, which is why Rein always has those really high win rates. And instead of, like, going for the Rein, your team decided to go for everybody else but the Rein, which then gave the Rein that value, and everybody else on their team was just sitting there behind a shield and you couldn't do anything. Like, Rein's shield can be shredded. Play smart on cart. Keep doing what you're doing. This is good. Let me get a right click going during this. Yeah, your Rein's going back to spawn real quick. Yep. Yeah, this ended up being, you know what? Here's my take, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a. I'll give you a little bit of like what I saw from you as like a player here. Just to give you like a little bit of like feedback on your play. Your aim was fine. Honestly, for being in silver, you had great aim. I wouldn't be worried about that. But like, it's your play style. You played way too passive on Kiriko, which then made it so you couldn't heal your teammates the whole time, which then results in your teammates constantly falling over. You sit there and you say that your teammates are playing too aggro and you can't keep up with them, so you go Lucio Zen to be able to do that. But the problem is that that never was the issue. You just weren't playing with your team's pace. If 4 of your players are playing aggressive, play with your team. It got a little bit better when you went Zen because then you're on Lucio Zen and you're able to do the Discord orb, but then the other team switched to Reinhardt. Then rather than you just sitting there spamming out a Rein shield, you try to do everything else but spam the Rein shield, which gives everybody else in their team value. So the point is here is that don't focus too hard on, oh, my teammates are playing aggro and then like I couldn't keep them up. What do I do? Like, your DPS was fine, how you were doing that. It was how far back you were playing to not get the full value from your hero. And then your unwillingness to use some of your ultimates quickly. Like Kitsune, for example. And that's a completely different game. So you work on that stuff, you're going to be just fine. But if you play really far back and you don't adapt to your team's playstyle, you'll find that you'll have games like that where you struggle and you end up on comps that you ideally don't want to play. Although I will say Zenyatta was a good pick for you, so don't be afraid to play Zen. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. If you want to submit your own spectator, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you submit that stuff. We record these live on Twitch, the stream. We stream these. Look below the webcam. You see my Twitch chat. We have a lot of fun here. Stop by if you haven't. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.